So, I'm going to attempt to do a video for the first time. Got porridge all over my face. For first time trippers. Oh, right. As I only do this in one shot, I'll be taking the porridge off whilst I give some advice to first time trippers. So, I can't really honestly advise anyone what to do, so don't take this too seriously. And I'm not encouraging you to take hallucinogenics here. But if you are going to, I guess I'll give you some sort of preparation and give you a little bit of a guide. So, first things first, don't overdo the dosage. If it's your first trip, I wouldn't recommend going to the edge of the galaxy and back because it's a very psychologically tough thing to do. Is tripping, especially to that kind of degree. Tripping a little bit, taking a little bit of mushrooms here and there is, is not going to push you to the edge, but you should still be prepared. Be prepared to end up getting pushed to the edge. Be prepared for anything to happen psychologically, anything to feel like it's happened, any kind of phenomenon to feel like it's happened, it's going to happen. Regardless of how much you've taken, because you don't know your sensitivity yet, and you have no idea what it's going to do. Even before I take a trip, I have a general guide and a general feeling of knowing what it could do, but I don't actually know what it's going to do until it hits me. But that's kind of the same as life, but with this it's a little more extraordinary and very psychologically intense. Try and do it when you're in a good state of mind. Try and do it around people you care about if you can do it with other people. Make sure you feel safe, warm, make sure you're eating well and you're comfortable, if you can do that kind of thing. And if you do end up having a bad trip or having bad feelings, just remember that it's temporary, and also remember that it doesn't matter. Just tell yourself it doesn't matter, and also tell yourself that you wouldn't do something to yourself that's going to hurt you on purpose. In the end, you're doing this for your own good rather than to damage you, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. And just have some trust in yourself and the world around you, because you'll need it if things go wrong. Try not to be too anxious with it. Try to allow it to take its control though, because fighting against the trip is generally a lot worse than staying with the trip. For example, if you're going through a bad period, becoming more paranoid and more fearful and trying to shut off when you're only halfway into a trip before you're even at the peak. When you get to the peak, those negative emotions will become worse. So you're best off just accepting the negative emotions and saying, well, this is upsetting, this is bad, I may not be able to stop it, but it's okay, such is life. Like you basically have to accept your situation with drugs. Like the thing with hallucinogenics particularly is, I heard this in a 1,200 micrograms song. I think it's a Timothy Leary quote, and the quote is, "You can turn your back on a person, but you can never turn your back on a drug." With hallucinogenics, this is very true. Once you've taken the trip, once it's in your system and it's going through your system, the effects will keep intensifying until they hit a peak. You can't run away from that experience as such. You can kind of stop it, there are some ways, but I'll get to that in a minute. With a person, if they're after you, can move, you can run away, or there's usually options, but with a hallucinogenic experience, it's going to keep continuing. There are some other things that you can have to calm the situation. Benzodiazepines such as diazepam, Valium, or flunitrazepam, clonazepam, alprazolam, etc., can help you with anxiety issues, but I would not recommend taking them unless you need them. And if you really need to go to sleep or need to end a trip, taking small amounts of benzodiazepines can work, but I'm not sure on the safety of that, so I can't recommend or not recommend that as such. But I have taken benzos before when generally I don't stop a bad trip. I never have stopped a bad trip, but sometimes I need to sleep and I'm at my peak, and I'm not that interested in it. I've had enough experiences and I'm just like, yeah, I go to sleep. So I have a benzo and then I fall asleep and I wake up. So that's kind of a way of reassuring yourself. Sugary foods seem to help boost the mood. Being warm seems to help boost the mood sometimes, depending on the severity of the trip. I find that being in good company, in a relaxing atmosphere, being well fed and nourished, that's a good trip. Sometimes being out in nature can enhance your journey. So yeah, they're basically all just safety precautions and such. And then the next thing I would say is, yeah, don't be afraid, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So don't be afraid. And also try and explore whatever you can while you're in that state of mind. Try and explore things you wouldn't normally explore, things that may scare you, concepts that you don't understand, maybe just weird concepts and fun concepts, but just, try to explore, try and get what you can out of the experience, and yeah, really take it for what it is, really milk the experience as much as you can, because you don't know how it's going to end up, and the more different stuff you do, the stranger it'll get, but the more reward you'll get from it. Another thing is, before you take the trip, it might be worth reflecting on stuff in your life, asking and preparing yourself for your own guidance, and telling yourself that you're about to go on a magical journey, because telling yourself it's going to be a good journey will increase your chances of it being a good journey. Essentially, psychological preparation is a good thing for hallucinogenics. Not getting anxious and worrying about it, just prepare yourself. And when you do take the hallucinogens, when you're definitely taking them, don't take them slowly and have doubts. Just take them, tell yourself that's the decision you made, and go with it. Because with these, you need to be sure that you're going to go with it. You might not know what to expect, but yeah, and yeah, generally just relax into it when you are tripping. Just take it as what it is, and experience it, and let the experience happen. It's a very nice experience if done properly. If you have a bad trip afterwards, don't worry too much. Your mind will recover from it. It just doesn't seem like it will, and it won't last forever. So don't worry about that either. And yeah, just try to enjoy it. Either you go for that trip on your own. I don't know what you want to trip for. Or some people listen to the Beatles or Pink Floyd, so they need to trip to that. And to be fair, it can enhance music in weird ways. And if you're an introverted person, you don't talk to other people, or you want to share the music with them, that could be a great experience. Go for a picnic, go camping. Maybe not go for a swim, maybe not operate machinery, maybe let's not do that to begin with, but you can have a bit of fun. Maybe on a campfire or something like that. Make sure not everyone's tripping. It could do you well to have a trip sitter, someone who's tripped before, to look after you and kind of reassure you, or just to chill with or whatever, essentially. Yeah, try and eliminate any negatives before you trip, and just fucking enjoy it, basically. Just enjoy it as a part of life, and yeah, take life and yeah, just fucking love it. If you get into some weird mystical spaces, you don't have to explore them, but you may as well, good or bad. Sometimes it's worth exploring, sometimes not. It's up to you to make that decision, the inner you. If you go to very spiritual or confusing places, don't worry about it. This is normal under hallucinogenics. That realm is just normal, psychologically. If things don't appear as they seem, they're off colour, or they're too shiny, or things are moving, or the sounds are different, the smells are different, don't worry about it. That's just how it is. If you're outside or you're in a social situation, it's overwhelming. Whilst a lot of people would say you've got to face the situation, with that kind of situation, it might just be best to just go. Just don't worry about it. Face it another day. You don't necessarily have to be a friggin' hero on your hallucinogenic journey. Just yeah, explore, enjoy, see how it pans out for you, and relax. Take your time with it. Don't feel like you're under pressure to do anything. Hallucinogenics isn't really about being under pressure to achieve something spiritually. It's about letting the experience happen and seeing what it has to offer you, really. Except maybe DMT. Smoking DMT is just gets you to the spot. That's different. That's different. That's not even to say anyway. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy your experience. You won't experience too much anxiety. Cleanse yourself, prepare, psychologically prepare. Maybe some good friends, or maybe be on your own. Maybe listen to some cool music. Have a fire going, go camping. See the wildlife. Try make sure you're warm. Remember to bring enough food out with you. Remember to bring enough water out with you. You might get dehydrated and you'll feel sad. So yeah, just try and enjoy it. Look after yourself, and remember that everything's okay, and that you wouldn't do stuff like this to harm yourself. So yeah, that's my advice for first time trippers. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are a first time tripper looking to trip, let me know how it goes if you do decide to trip, and yeah, just have fun with it. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for listening.